The loss of McPhee, but also counterbalanced by the loss of Eamon Buchanan, who's been a terrific player. Best last week for Sydney.
Yeah, Phillips comes in to replace him. A late call-up for Phillips, with Fosdyke also coming in. Leo Barry on Scott Lucas will be a big matchup given Lucas's form last week. And I like Bolton on Hurd.
Yes, the two Canberra boys getting onto each other. Tonight, Roberts Thompson will be a free-flowing player down the back. Kirk has been amazing for the Swans. 100 games straight, continues to pick up disposals, but so too that running young line for the Bombers.
I think we saw them at their best. Dyson, Watson and Stanton last week. They really did put it together, but Adam Goods is the man who's really electrifying this Sydney Swans outfit, with Darren Jolly, who took apart Brendan Lade last week, who's been touted as All-Australian ruckman.
He was very good last week. Kicked a couple of goals too. Solomon on Hall, you think that's the matchup?
I think it has to be that way. I think Fletcher will probably take O'Loughlin, because O'Loughlin will stay closer to the goal square. Ryan O'Keefe's another one I think's had a great year. Mickey O'Loughlin, always dangerous. The Snyder man, more pressure now with the absence of Buchanan.
Yeah, quiet last week, Schneider, just 5 disposals. He'll have to kick some goals tonight. Fosdyke, Schmidt, Grundy and Phillips, the young player coming in on the bench for the Sydney Swans. Surprising that Bradley's on the bench after kicking 4 last week against the Lions.
Probably the size of the ground has meant that he goes back. I reckon Lucas start in the square. Good to see Jolly getting his second run for the Bombers.
Yep. Underway. Round 18, the Swans looking to make sure that the Bombers don't beat them twice in a season. The whistle on play early on. Essendon free kick.
Well, last week against Port Adelaide, the Swans are absolutely hot. They had that game wrapped up by about 25 minutes into the first quarter. Barry Hall could have kicked 5 early, just slightly astray, but they just ripped into it early. And I reckon Essendon would have come here, KB, saying we've got to just be there at quarter time.
I'd like their chances. They're pretty good up in Sydney, the Bombers.
Dyson goes very wide. Was looking for Watson. I'm not sure about the decision-making process to go that wide to the corner, even though Sydney did have the numbers back.
He had no option, because there was the whole 36 players on the ground in that defensive 50, so he didn't want to bomb away. It's very easily just skirted across, and the Swans so good at taking the ball out after points.
Here's this important matchup, Hill against Jolly. Hill winning that one at ground level. Jude Bolton trying to clear, trying to keep it in, and it lands centimetres inside the line, and it'll be another boundary throw-in. Welsh breaking clear, out in front of Lovett. Should have the pace to elude Barry, does so on the left boot. Leading player Lucas. Good work, the Bombers, good transfer. Lucas is a thumping kick. He'll kick from just outside 50, but he's fresh, he's just out on the ground. He should make the distance. It's online. It's through. Scotty Lucas has the opening goal.
Boundary throw in a good 65 metres around from the Swans' goal. Hill coming off his best game for the season last week. Good at 3 goals as well. And there's a slips catch being taken by that man Grundy. Can he bring up the Swans' first goal? Just 35 metres out, directly in front. Straight through the centre.
Just under 8 minutes remaining in the first turn. Essendon doing the job. Haven't let Sydney get away.
Leo Barry squeezed up in the back pocket on the boundary line. He's looking for Dempster. He'll get support. Roberts Thompson running hard was Fosdyke. Stanton chases hard on the stretch. Taken away by Jolly.
Good kick.
Barry Hall's going to be the target. Solomon did well, made a great contest. He loves these big jobs. Saw him once play on Matthew Richardson, did a mighty job at the Telstra Dome. McVeigh feigned the handball, back to Malcheski, he'll stand and deliver. Oh, what a goal, what a kick. They played just over 9.5 minutes in this first quarter as Hill and Goods. They'll be at it all night. Here's Watson, does well, weaves his way out of trouble, finds Nash. Lovett Murray, it was a look-away handball to Nash. They're going to run the ball down centre wing. Monfries, one of the young guns, tremendous young player, is a goal kicker, runs the 45, is a goal kicker.
I reckon James Hurd, I think it was James Hurd, Kevin, we were doing a game here way back in the early 90s, and it was one of his very first games. He kicked 8 goals to half-time. And we spent the whole half-time working out how we're going to stop James Hurd. Well, she's put into full-back.
I can remember that day. I think we thought, this is a red-letter day for this young boy. Yeah. He's going to kick 10 goals. Not from full-back.
This is Bevan. Just too much on the handball for Kennelly. Lovett cleaning up for the Bombers. Through the middle of the ground, wanted Lovett Murray. Goods was with him. It spills now for Sydney. Off a step O'Keefe. Open forward line in the right spot, Grundy. And he's going to line up for goal number 2.
He's a good find.
He's lining up for number 2. It's pretty good. It's through. 2 for Grundy. Inside the forward pocket for Sydney.
Paul Roos throwing his men around, trying to get the right mix, trying to conserve energy, I guess, a combination of the both. The Swans 13 times on the interchange, and the Bombers just the 6.
Lovett Murray couldn't get free. Fosdyke. Back to Ablett. Kirk. Good luck. They've still got it though, Sydney. Ablett kept going. Hall and Solomon. Barry's got it.
Well, it was a classic case of just Barry Hall going the footy. Dean Solomon was going the footy, and all of a sudden he said, "Where is Barry Hall?" And he started looking for his man. He had the front spot initially. I think if he sees the replay, you'd probably say to himself, "I just should have gone the ball."
Yeah, he just started to feel for him. Barry skipped past, and Solomon loses balance. And Hall for his first, and Sydney's third. Make that 4.
Richard Cole's just come off. He's in the hands of the Essendon doctor at the moment. It appears he got a knock to the head, looking a fair bit groggy.
Thanks, Tiff. Chance for Bolton. Might have been caught high. Johnson was at the bottom of the pack. Being very, very lively has Kennelly. And Ablett marks in front of Peverill. And that could be 50. That is 50. There's Peverill. Just had that glance there, Jared. He knew he did wrong.
Did he do wrong, Kevin?
Yes, once he took the mark, he ran over the mark, then manhandled. Here's Barry Hall. Way out in front of Solomon. Takes an easy chest mark.
Are you on the rules committee, Kevin?
Barry Hall's directly in front. He's going for goal number 2 from just 30 metres out. Pops it through. Yet to kick a goal in AFL football. Just his second game. Right to the line. Pack of players. Here's a chance. Lucas. He's kicked a goal. He's got 2.
Looks like, barring a quick release, the Swans will go in at half-time leading by 17 points. Richards gets that quick release to Malcheski. Distance on the kick. Barry's there. Big punch. He needs a crummer. He's got one in Schneider. And they make it 23 points. Right on half-time. Smart play from Hall. Knew he was out-positioned. Just punched to the front, waiting for a crummer. Schneider arrives, and it's a goal to the Swans.
He's a tremendous player, Barry Hall. He's a great team player. We've seen it tonight. He's been unselfish on several occasions. Always thinking how they can actually score, keep that ball back in play. In dying seconds of this second term, caught behind, tried nothing spectacular, punched it back. Knew someone like Schneider would be trying there to get to the front and square and snaffle the ball. And we know Schneider is a goal kicker. 6-9-45, plays 3-4-22. It's Sydney by 23 points at half-time. He might be an assistant coach of the Bombers next year.
You never know. He's obviously a Bombers fan. He'd like to see Essendon get things running early in this third term as we're underway. David Hill trying to crunch through. And it was a late whistle, but eventually it is a free kick.
Well, the Adam Goods match-up's been an interesting one all night. He's just camped down at centre-half back at the moment, so not sure if he's going to push forward, but the Swans may just say to Kevin Sheedy, well, if you want to play this game, we'll just determine where Adam Goods sits.
This for goal number 21 for 2006. And a bright start for Sydney in this second half. He's hooking it, but it's holding its line. It's through. Sydney draw first blood in the third term.
We did see in the earlier game Stephen Doyle and Jared Crouch running around, and Nick Davis, so a bit of depth there for the Swans. They kicked a goal with just a second remaining at half-time, and of course in the first minute of this third term they've kicked another one, so bad signs there for the Bombers. Here's a chance for Jolly. Can he make something happen to Monfries? Here's Lucas, is going to be the target, works his way in front of Roberts. Thompson takes a good grab.
Well, that's deja vu of the opening couple of minutes. They won the ball out of the centre, which they just haven't done enough tonight. And if they get it out of the centre, the way it's set up, Scotty Lucas is one out against Lewis Roberts Thompson. And on that occasion, he was good enough. Ben Matthews is another one, Kevin, that's sitting in the wings, waiting to come back, getting his spot back. So plenty to play for the Swans, but right now plenty to play for the Bombers. And if this one goes through, well, they're on their way again.
That can lift the spirits. He's kicked it.
He's an interesting player. We spoke about Stephen Doyle, Kevin. I mean, he very much is Spider Everett, isn't he? He's nowhere near as accomplished, obviously, but he's as tall. He's much more mobile than most. And I saw tonight in the twos, he was actually, his work rate was up.
Watson bangs it forward, but it's 2-on-1 again, and Barry's in the good spot.
Now, if you listen to the jungle drums, Spider Everett's already signed up here.
Yes,
but,
signed.
I mean, that may not happen, of course, but Stephen Doyle's next 6 weeks may actually impact on whether or not that ever happens.
Well, Goods has marked across half back. So he's quite happy to camp himself in that back half. He's got Bolton picking him up. Here's a chance for Barry Hall again. Just got Solomon out of the way. Malcheski is a dangerous player. McVie is quick. Can use the ball. That's a clever kick. Finds Bolton. Here's the loose player. Fearless Fosdyke. Too much carry on the ball. Nash. Been a handy player, Nash. He's only playing his 8th game. Here's a chance for Fletcher. Hacked it off the ground. Pounced on by Bolton. Hammers the ball to the goal square. Again, Bolton. That time was Solomon did very well, but Barry Hall has pounced on it. Bangs it home. 3 goals. Kennelly finds O'Keefe. So the Swans very happy to just pinpoint the ball around, share the ball around, wax. Kennelly now goes for a trot. Edge of the centre square. Penetrating kick. High flies. Ablett on the second grab. Would you back him in here, Jared? He's a good kick.
He's a darn good kick. He'd be a better chance than most.
Stands right on 50. Ablett straight through the heart of the Bombers. I don't think he wants to kick that for with goal, does he?
He was looking for the red seat apart then.
Stanton looking for Hurd. Too good. James Hurd. Now, towards Lucas. Bolton.
Good mark.
He was in the spot, Bolton. Thought Lucas was going to spoil him for a second. Right behind him. And they desperately need this. Well, it stayed close to the post, but it's a goal. To make it 11. And there's another footy on the ground.
Well, you've got to get rid of the footy before they start, surely.
No, so someone has now, but that's a long kick from Fletcher to the centre of the ground. And a strong mark by Hill. They need to move it quickly. Love it. And spread into space now. Hill looking for a 50. Lays it off. Stanton. Got some pace. And look at that for a long kick. Love it. Reads it best and has got it. Good footy, Essendon. One long kick down the middle. One long kick to the front of the square. And Kevin Bartlett's as happy as he's been all evening.
Yes, now Tommy Hafey's watching this. He'll be absolutely thrilled because former coach of the Sydney Swans and Coach Jared, it's his birthday today, so happy birthday to Tommy Hafey, and that's what he likes, long kicking.
He'd be thrilled with that bypass players run up. There weren't any bypass players, no need, because Andrew Lovett lost his man, but it started with a great mark by David Hill. Don't underestimate that. That was a ripper of a mark.
Another goal to Essendon. And they sneak a bit closer.
I know you said earlier in the game that maybe run in and jump into Jolly a little bit, but just let himself go. He's got a lot of talent. Big, strong young kid. He can take a mark. He can kick a goal. And here's Barry. The juggler has got it. Finds Bolton.
Also, there's a bit of a pause. Tiff down on the boundary line. Seemed to be no love lost between McVeigh and Camporelli running off the ground.
Bolton.
We'll take that as a yes.
Finds Dempster, who just unloads. Big bomb towards the goal square. And getting back was Fosdyke. Unselfish play. There's goal 400. From Michael O'Loughlin, he's got a smile on his face. How could he miss that, Jared? There's only 1 metre out, he couldn't do it.
He was looking the Red Seas, they finally parted. There was nothing that could stop that goal. And well played, Nick Fosdyke. Was a good mark. And then how sharp is his brain? Everyone else is thinking he's going back. No, Mickey O'Loughlin, he's got 4 centuries on the line. And well done to Mickey O'Loughlin. He has been a great player for this football club. He's been a great entertainer and he's just been a great footballer. He's a kid from South Australia who came as a draftee and he's just been one of the Swans' greatest players of all time.
And you get the feeling, Jared, that he really needed to kick it from 1 metre out.
He's 4th on the list for leading goal kickers for the club. He's only 12 behind Bobby Skilton. Long way to go for a couple of others, but we won't get into that. And he'd be relieved, and he's got an important goal for Sydney. We're back in the action, plenty of players diving around the ball. It's forced forward. It's still inside the centre square. We're inside the last 9 minutes of this third term. Designated kick.
It's really trimmed down. Lovett Murray wobbles the ball in. Chance here at the back of the pack. Lucas. Going for goal number 4 and to drag it back to a 23-point ball game. He's got 4.
Well, he is keeping the Bombers in it single-handedly up in that forward line. He's the only man there that's capable of kicking a bag at the moment.
Lucas has 4, 50 for the season, kicked 51 last year. He's racing up the table for the Coleman medal, chasing Barry Hall in second spot.
His best ever is 57. That was in 2000 when they won the premiership.
The way he's going, Kevin, he'll get past that figure pretty quickly. Ablett affects the clearance. Here's Barry Hall, 2 to beat. At the back, Solomon, untidy with the handball. Now there's a whistle.
Throw.
He's called it a throw against Solomon.
Barry Hall is clapping his hands.
And Barry's going to go back for his 4th. Goal for goal between Lucas and Hall at both ends of the SCG. Directly in front, the margin's 23. He'll bang it back to 29. And he'll go to 57 for the season. And the quick answer for Sydney. Goal for goal. And it was just a little bit unlucky there, Solomon. The first handball that he was trying to affect to get it to Fletcher. There's the untidy one. Well, that's a tap, isn't it?
That's a tap.
That's not a throw.
No, he'd be a bit stiff. In fact, well done to Dean Solomon. He didn't do the nana. Yeah. He just he copped it on the chin, the rub of the green. He was stiff.
Well, that's a dead set gimme goal for Barry Hall. And Dean Solomon should be feeling pretty unlucky.
4 goals to Barry Hall, kicked 1 in the first quarter, 1 in the second, 2 in this third term. Swans lead by 29 points, 11-10, plays 7-5. Jolly, with a wide grin on his face, comes charging in against Hill. And Peveril bounces to his feet, kicks the ball long. James Hird has to go. Playing in front that time. Was that Leo Barry? Stood his ground. Such an exciting player, Leo Barry. He's quick on his feet. He's got all those quick actions. It's not big for a defender, but somehow he can mark the ball. We know he can take the spectacular ones. But on that occasion, it just took courage to stand in front of the pack. Snyder goes back to the goal line. To Kirk. Now some run. Looking for that opening. And some good talking there from O'Keefe. Allowed Phillips to just glide onto the ball. He's on centre wing. Hall's always the target up forward. Solomon this time, a consummate defender. To Peveril. That came from Watson. That centre half back goes wide, looking for Kepler Bradley, caught behind Ted Richards, pounced on the ball. Quick hands find Snyder. Didn't quite hit the target. They share the ball around with Ablett. Ty Canelli run down by Monfries, who again just didn't quite hit the target. Sydney Swans desperate on that forward line. O'Loughlin goes to the ground. Lovett Murray tried to somehow shovel the ball out to high ball. Here's Bolton pulled off the ball. There's no free kick. O'Loughlin, quick snap. Goal 401. as the rain tumbles down, and Michael O'Loughlin's kicked his second goal. So the floodgates have opened.
Well, what about Michael O'Loughlin, KB? You've been watching him since his very first game. I just reckon he's always been, with his great skill, and he's always had that little bit of magic about him that's made him, it's dragged many people into this ground to see him. He's been a great AFL footballer.
Well, he's been an All-Australian as well. You've got St Kilda, Collingwood, Sydney, the Western Bulldogs and Fremantle, all on 10 to 11 wins, and there's only a few percentage between them. High ball, chance for Sydney into the goal square, and the whistle is gone. And Barry Hall will be going for goal number 5. And that's what he's been averaging against the mighty Bombers since coming to Sydney. So percentage is very, very important, particularly if you want that double chance top 4.
Well, it was a good decision by the umpire. You could see there that Dean Solomon grabbed the jumper. Michael O'Loughlin with 2 hands in the air.
Going for his 3rd goal for the quarter. Number 5 for the match. Barry Hall, he's a beauty. But Sydney do flood back very, very quickly.
This has been a tough battle, Kev. Kirk versus Johnson.
Well, Kirk has won the ball on the half-forward line. Drills the ball in, looking for Grundy. Here's Michael O'Loughlin, kicked 2 goals in that 3rd term. Turning his 400th, does well. Barry Hall's always going to be the target, and Fletcher was spectacular. Pushed out Hall, landed heavily. And we've got a ball up 30 metres out from goal. A spectacular leap.
Late try for the mark of the year.
There's Barry Hall. He's booted 5 goals. And a quick snap. And Ryan O'Keefe has kicked a goal.
O'Keefe with 2. Sydney now 14. And the margin becoming a bit of a worry here for the Bombers.
Interesting, they have finally made the change. Fletcher onto Barry Hall. Solomon probably has lacked the leg speed to go with O'Loughlin, but they're giving it a crack.
Mark Johnson gives it to Jason Johnson on the burst from 40 metres. He gets it. 1 back for Essendon.
Just bangs the ball back towards the edge of the centre square. That was an old-fashioned kick under pressure. Here's Monfries, has pounced on it. Runs to 48, close to 45. Needs a lucky bounce, kind bounce. That is the thrill of the grass.
Didn't know I'd done a course in IT. Anyway, boundary throwing. And that's the 37th boundary throw-in for the evening. And here's Hill. Bouncing through. Here's a chance, it's still alive, and it's a goal to Nathan Lovett-Murray.
It's Lovett-Murray, who goes very short back to McVeigh. So the Bombers just trying to work an opening to Dyson. Lucas could have been the target. He's been bypassed. David Hill pushed out of the contest that time. It was good defensive play. But chipping in and taking is Welsh. Welsh to keep the game alive. He's done it. His first goal for the season. They're within 23 points.
He's taken a responsibility.
He's kicking for number 6. It was always to the right of the post. So what can the Bombers do with this kick in on the way back? Bit of a huddle near the centre. Now they break to the broadcast side. And Camporelli heads in that direction.
He went over. He dead set went over. And the umpire from 55 metres away.
There's a shepherding free kick.
Okay.
Shepherding free kick against Monfries for Essendon. Sydney will have a shot on goal from the goal square.
That is an amazing turnaround. Looked to me as if Camporelli had stepped over the line. But,
yeah, it did.
The umpire ignored that one, but gee, I'll tell you what, the Swans would be absolutely loving this. Umpire
Scott Jeffrey just explaining the situation there to Watson and Hurd. He was the umpire away from the kick-in. It's going all the way back for the easiest goal you like against the run of play to Jared McVeigh directly in front. And some Bomber fans here voicing their disapproval. They got it out to 47. Looked as though they were going to storm home, but Essendon came back. Kirk over the top to Fosdyke. Thought about Ablett. Back to Kirk. The old 1-2. And then O'Loughlin. Out in front of Solomon. Reels around quickly. Heads to the square. McVeigh this time. Couldn't take the mark. Off the ground. That's an outstanding goal by Jude Bolton.
That was freakish.
It was as if we were back in the World Cup and the cross got a little bit too far and he was on the end of it and hooked it back through. Terrific goal, Jude Bolton.
It looked like he was going to let the ball go past, and at the last second he said, no, I'll put a boot on this. Mick O'Loughlin, he was pretty keen to play on with this one. He had Jared McVeigh and he nudged him out nicely. Jobe Watson there just losing sight of his player and paying the price.
There's Michael O'Loughlin with that centering kick. And that is a terrific goal by Jude Bolton. 9 individual goal kickers for the Swans.
He's one of those difficult players to match up on in the ruck because he can run, and if he's prepared to run all day, I think he could really hurt some lumbering types.
There's Bolton, kicks a high ball, and Barry Hall will play on, and he'll kick goal number 6.
He just very consistently does the job.
Oh, there's a great mark taken by O'Keefe.
No comment from Kevin Bartlett whatsoever. And that's the siren.